Well, welcome everyone, and welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz. That's right, it's afternoon tea. And today in the studio, I have a beautiful, amazing woman, Belinda Mayar from Cameroon. That's right, and she's an advocate for disability and education. So I'm going to share a little bit on this amazing young lady, and then she's going to share her journey with us, and we're going to go and have an amazing tea time together. So a little bit on Belinda. Let me see, what do I have on Belinda? Belinda Mayar is a beautiful and dynamic lady with disabilities. She serves as an activist and an advocate for the rights and inclusions in capacity building, education, and job security for a person with disabilities. She also serves as a field volunteer and a focal point for several NGOs for the development and inclusions for persons with disabilities. She's a builder, a member, and a coordinator for several organizations and associations for persons with disabilities in Mimi Division Southwest region. She also works with and advocates for less privileged children and orphans in communities. Amazing, amazing young lady. And if you'd like to see more and hear more about Belinda, check out Miss Liz's Tea Time page, because her full bio is there. So welcome, Belinda. I am so honored to have you here. So go away, girl. Share your journey with us.
Thank you, Miss Lee. Miss Liz.
Miss Liz.
Yeah. Okay.
See, we're both tongue-tied.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a privilege for me to be on the show with you today. It's been a long awaited day. I was just like, but definitely I knew we'll get here. Like you said, I'm Belinda Mayar from Cameroon, an activist, an advocate for children and persons with disability. And I'm definitely here to share my story, believing that at the end of it all, somehow we'll be motivated, it will inspire people out there, maybe some parents out there whose children have disability, to know that in every disability there is uniqueness and there is ability. So Belinda Mayar is a fifth child of family of 6. I'm an orphan. Yeah. My parents died when I was very tender. Actually, I was not born with a disability. I was born like every normal child. I play around and I could do everything as a child. But at the age of 5, I got struck with the polio virus and I became paralyzed for life. And during those moments, it was like it came like a shock to my parents. What was happening to this child? Our beautiful little girl, she could do this, she could do that. But now she has special needs. Are we going to leave her like that? Are we going to abandon her? Are we going to kick her off the society? And it was very amazing because when I got paralyzed, my parents never gave up on me. It was like they had to begin another training for a special child, and it was very challenging because when it happened, I was completely down. Um, Unlike today that I can use crutches, I was completely down. I could not stand. I could not do anything. Therefore, it means I had to go to a rehab center. And so I was in a rehab center for like 2 years as a child. And at one point, because it became very expensive, my parents could no longer pay the bills and all that. After 2 years and some months, I had to come back to the house. Um, when I got back home, it was like starting all over again. But there was one thing my father said as a child that right in my heart, the person I've become today is because when I listened to what he said, there was one day he called the family and he said, even if no child will go to school in the family, Maya must go to school. At that moment, I realized that with the disability or not, have the right to humanity, has the right to be educated. And it motivated me into becoming the person I am today to advocate and to fight for the right of children with disability. And when I got back and I started all over again, it was like 2 years later, my both parents died the same year, and it became more challenging for a child with a disability to also grow up as an orphan child. It was like when my parents were around, all those special needs, they would be like, do this for her, do this for her. But when they were no longer there, it means I had to fight for myself. And at that time, I developed the quality of being a fighter, of saying no. I'm not going to back out of school because my parents are not there. I'm not going to do this because they are not there. I became a fighter. And from that time on in my life, I felt bad when I meet a child who is less privileged in any aspect, being it an orphan child or an abandoned child or a child with disability. I became very tender and very emotional. And that feeling has nurtured me to an extent where in 2019, I actually started my advocacy for children and persons with disability. So it is the background of what I've gone through as a child, the different scenarios I had to see in my life that gave me the inspiration to like, Maya, it's not over. Maya, you can do better. That has given me the inspiration to become the fighter, the advocate, whatsoever you want to name me, to see how children with disability, persons with disability, um, can have a place in the society. Because, like I said, there is a unique ability in every person with disability. So that is the story behind who this fighter is today.
So, what have you learned about yourself, Belinda, with all of this fight, with all of this hardship? You giving me the word fighter, but when you hear the word fighter, what does it mean to you?
Okay. Um, when you hear the word fighter, um, It's somebody who saying I'm not gonna give up. Yeah. I'm not gonna give up only on myself. I'm not gonna give up to every person, every child with disability, every person with disability that has the right to live, that has a right to education in the society. So not giving up or being a fighter is not only about me, because I believe by being a fighter, I can also fight for some other people out there. And being a fighter means you can inspire, you can motivate, you can encourage some other people out there. So being a fighter is not just like an action that I'm saying that there, but being a fighter, it's being an inspiration to myself and see how I can really be an inspiration and a motivation to some other persons or children with disability in Africa and in the world.
And you are doing that. And what I really, really appreciate about you, Belinda, is that you went out of your way to see how you could help others. You know, uh, I've been watching you as you've been watching me, and I see you inspiring young children who have disabilities, and even adults that have disabilities. You have given them hope, and you've given them that push to believe that they can still do it. Right? There's no limits. You're not stopping. Just because you have a disability
Yeah.
doesn't mean that your life stops. You know, you continue on, and you inspire so many people in your country and in other countries, because when you follow me, you follow the world, because I follow all over. So
Definitely.
everyone gets to see you now, girl. But what has it been? Like, what is the biggest thing that you have accomplished in your life that has brought you to where you are today to help others like you?
Before in my community, you see parents, you see parents withholding children from children with disability from going to school. And I think they have their various reasons. For us, for like for us in Africa, when a child is born with disability, so many reasons are attributed to that. You hear a parent saying that why can I prioritize a child with disability over some other children, where I know that in the end it is these other children that can support the family, not the child with disability. You hear parents, they'll say it's challenging, they will not be accepted in school, they insist it's not accessible. And because when you hear all of this, it at times it gives you a reason for, like, they have a reason why they are not um actually sending or encouraging their children to school. But then if we say children have a right to education, it means every child. It does not mean whether the child have a disability or not. So in my community, I've been able to motivate, encourage, sensitize parents, as well as some teachers. I visited some establishment to see how um, they could make the environment more accessible, so that it could be easier for these children with disability to come to this establishment freely, for them to be educated. I'd gone on several tours in some establishment and visited children with disability. I told them that, look at me, don't you love me? Are you not happy that I came visiting you? Don't you think if in a year or two time you had the opportunity to go and encourage your friends and tell them how beautiful education is, they'll be happy to see you? And everybody was just, we love you, Belinda. And that was the reason why I told them I was there, to let them know that if you have come here, if you have come here to learn, it's because you know you have something unique, and it's because you know you want to inspire somebody, and you can do it because you believe in yourself. And don't worry, you have feedbacks because I did it, but know that in the end you'll be successful. And you'll be amazed at the end of the day as those beautiful children, how they could relate, how they could explain their challenges and all of that. And when I see all of these, I see how these children accept the fact that they too, they have a place in the society. The parents, they become understanding that truly every child is a child and a child has a right to education. um it gives me nothing but pleasure, and it gives me the strength and the motive to keep on doing what I'm doing in my community.
I really, really appreciate everything you're doing for all of the people in your community and outside of your community, because you will be seeing people from outside of your community reaching out to you, Belinda, to have you share your story and to give a voice, because we need that voice. That different is beautiful, and you are beautiful and an amazing, amazing soul. And I am so honored to have you on Tea Time today. Now, what does tea mean to Belinda?
T. Okay. Like literally when you hear of the word tea, maybe you have a cold, you want to get rid of it, maybe you just want to enjoy something beautiful. And when you take the tea, at times it motivates you, it energizes you, and you feel happy after it all. But in the sense of what we are right now, like what we are having, I think that tea is a motivator, is an inspiration. Of that tea, it's telling every person with disability that we all can do it. If Miss Liz is doing it, if Belinda Maya is doing it, if Cynthia is doing it, it's not because we are special, but because we are human, and all of us, we have give and talent, no matter the disability or not. All of us, we can be teachers, we can be lawyers, we can be anything we want to be, because we are all human, and it is a God-given talent that God has given to us. All what we need is just encouragement, it's just love, it's just concern, it's just a little push, and the world will see what every child with disability, every person with disability have in there. So all of us, we have something good in there. We have good qualities, we have good personalities. We can be friends in the community, we can be supporters, we can be motivators, but all we need is just that place for us to say, yes, this is our place. We can interact, we can share, we can support, and everything, everybody will be visible.
I love that answer. And seeing you, me, Cynthia, and everyone out there, we are just
Yeah.
human beings. Yes, we might be diagnosed with disability, but that doesn't mean that we're not human beings. You know, we can still do stuff. We can still be leaders. We can still be teachers. We can still be lawyers. It's like Belinda says, anything you set your mind to, there's no
Yeah.
limits. We only limit ourselves when we limit ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
And I really, really am honored to have you as a guest today on Tea Time. Is there any final words or any message that you'd like to give anyone out there before we wrap up Tea Time?
Yeah. To parents with disability, children are a blessing. Children are a blessing. And if you are blessed with a beautiful child, being with a disability or not, care for your child, support your child, push the child to whatsoever limit you think you could do for any other child, because it's your child. And in the end, believe me, you'll be proud of that child. With every person with disability out there, we can make it, we can be heard, we can be loved, we can be cherished. So do not say no because I am this, or because I have this disability or not, I'm finished, I'm useless, I cannot do it. Say to yourself that I came into the world to be a motivator to some people. I came to the world to be an inspiration. I came to the world to love the people in the world. I came to care for the people in the world. And if all of us, we know that we have a responsibility, being persons with disability or not, it will always give us a motivation to keep doing what we can do best. But knowing that in every disability, like I'll say, there is uniqueness and there is ability.
I love that. And I want to thank you, Belinda, for joining me today on Tea Time. And I want to thank all the viewers out there who are watching and who are going to watch the replay and who are going to watch the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to Miss Liz's Tea Times Making a Difference on YouTube. And again, Belinda, thank you for joining me today on Tea Time with Miss Liz. And we will make a difference one cup of tea at a time.
Okay, Liz, thank you so much. I love you, and continue to transmit to the world, continue inspiring to the world, because you are nothing but inspiration to the world. And we love you so, so much. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.